The NB Network with Dee's Fodder.
Hey, it's me, Dee. Welcome to the NB Network. And we're doing True Crime Tarot today, and the case we're going to be doing is Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell, the Doomsday Cult Killers. Yeah. Please remember that everything here is alleged. I'm doing this video for entertainment purposes only. Now, here in Idaho, where I reside, a case so ugly, so heartbreaking, has been in the news all over the world. And it all began when police put out an Amber Alert for two children, Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow. They had gone missing. And I remember this Amber Alert. I do. Because I'm in Idaho and whoo! That came out and I thought it was really odd. Because this was just a few days before Christmas of 2019. And when I went to read up about the kids, when the alert came out, it said the last anyone's ever heard from them was perhaps missing since September. And I was like, what is this? Perhaps? And it's December 20th and you are just now letting us know that some kids have been missing? What is going on? Oh, honey. Yeah. And I thought it was really, because the town of Rexburg is where it came from here in Idaho. And it's a small town. For this to be the first time we're hearing about missing kids, you know, I live in Boise, Idaho, okay? My wife has family from, and actually some are still living in eastern Idaho, which is where Rexburg is located. I, with my wife and kids, have actually stayed in Rexburg numerous times because it's located right between these two towns that we would visit our family, Blackfoot and Idaho Falls. So Rexburg's right here. So when I saw the Amber Alert, I was like, wait a minute, does anybody in our family know these kids? And, you know, I kind of started asking around. I'm like, anybody? They're not related, you know, they're not friends to anybody here. Do we know anything about them? And everyone's like, no. So I was like, how? What is going on? You know? And then more and more start coming out. And it gets dark as I had continued to follow these missing children. I discovered a nasty, complex, dark web of horrors. Now, if you wish to jump ahead to the tarot reading, please feel free to do so. I have the chapter links down below. You know, I hook you up that way. You could skip ahead. But if you'd like to hear more about this case and the trail of pain, deceit, zombies, you heard me, and a numerous amount of deaths, near deaths, that are all somehow connected to the disappearances and deaths of Tylee and JJ, then please stick around. Alright, folks, please forgive this hair mess lately. I am trying to grow my hair out, but every time I get it to this point, I end up shaving and cutting stuff off. And I'm like, no, let's see if I can grow some hair out. But it gets so bad looking right now. I hate it. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get down into the nitty-gritty here. So, please be advised that this video contains content that may be alarming to some viewers. Please watch at your own discretion. It contains topics of a sensitive nature, including death, suicide, mental illness, and violence, as well as harm to minors. So you're going to stick around? Let's do it. Oh boy, there's a lot to go over, folks. Get yourself your coffee, your tea, your vodka drink, I don't know, whatever you feel, you're going to need it. So let's get into this oh so tangled web of mayhem and murder. For me, figuring out where to start is even complicated, okay? I was like, where do I even begin? There's just so many people involved and so much that has happened. It's really hard to keep up. There's missing children, mysterious deaths. This case is just going to blow your mind. And I'm going to try and do my best not to get lost or lose you as I try and cover this case. Now, Bailey Sarian, love her. She did do a video, an episode on this particular case a while back. Before the Daybells were in custody. Okay? And I will have links to her episode down below for you. And the links to the resources that I used to try and pull everything together, okay? And then where we're going to start, this seemed the easiest way, is to start with Chad Daybell. Well, who is this man? He is an author, a self-proclaimed prophet, and the leader of a doomsday cult known as Preparing a People. Yeah, these, doomsday preppers. Yeah, and yeah. Sorry about that. All right, so in March of 1990, Chad Daybell married Tamra, aka also known as Tammy, in Utah in the Church of Latter-day Saints. Now, this couple started a publishing company in 2004 because Chad was writing books and, well, they want to be able to get them published, so they started their own little business. Now, Chad Daybell is the author. It's a spam call, folks. Sorry. Decline. We'll get through this all right. Okay, Chad Daybell is the author of over 25 apocalyptic and LDS, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints books. You heard me. Now, his books were never popular outside of the LDS community or the Doomsday Prepper community, but they're still available today on Amazon. You see, Chad claimed to get visions and could see the end times. He gained followers. And this group of what Chad would refer to as the true Mormons became known as Preparing a People. Yup, Chad with his doomsday books was now leading a cult where followers believed themselves to be the elite of all Mormons. Crazy, right? Yeah. On the other hand, now we have Lori Vallow Daybell, who, she's sketchy, folks. She's got a string of marriages and death that are just sketch, okay? Okay. Let's start with her first marriage to her high school sweetheart, Nelson Yanes, in 1992. Yeah, this marriage didn't last long at all. It was like, sorry about that interruption. I put the phone far away, and it was just the dental office confirming my son's appointment this week. Get my kids all taken care of here. Okay, so we're going back. We're discussing her first marriage that didn't last long, and she didn't have any children. I don't think it lasted even a full year, folks. It was like, I'm done. And now, in 1995, Lori married her second husband, William Leggio. I'm sorry, I thought I practiced pronouncing people's names, but yeah, I just need some more coffee. Now, they had a child together, and his name is Colby Ryan. And we'll hear about him later in the case, Colby, okay? Now, a year later, this marriage ended in divorce. Okay? Now, Lori remarries in 2001 to Joseph Ryan. And they had a daughter together. Her name, Tylee. And Joe Ryan, he adopted Colby. So it's now Tylee and Colby Ryan. They both have the the Ryan name. And this marriage lasted about 3 years. And then they divorced. A little side note here. Joseph passed away in 2018 from what seems is a heart attack. I'm not going to try and say it could have been more or not. We don't know. But, they were already divorced. But the time frame of 2018, well, we'll get back to that, okay? I'm skipping ahead. Sorry. Let's get back to Lori's fourth marriage to Leland Charles Vallow in 2004. To get an idea of where we are at with both Chad over here and Lori over here, okay? In 2004, Chad and his wife Tammy have started their publishing company. So she's over here with that. And over here, Lori is marrying Charles, okay? And Lori has 2 children, Colby and Tylee. Colby doesn't end up living with the couple. Tylee does. Okay, so we got this. Now we're going to get into another person who is key here. And I know it's a lot. Now Lori has a brother, okay? His name is Alexander Cox. He goes by Alex. Yes, Alex Cox. Make your laughs. Make the jokes. We done now? Okay. Now he is very, very protective of his sister Lori. I mean, he would do anything. Apparently, yeah. And as I have already done a video on Alex Cox and his mysterious death, I'll put that link down below for you. Apparently, he is willing to do just about anything for his sister. So, in 2007, Alex is arrested for aggravated assault when he used a stun gun on Joseph Ryan, Lori's ex-husband, and Alex was threatening to kill him. Now, if I were Charles here, this would be one huge motherfucking red flag. Get out, leave, disappear with the kids, go away, because this was her ex that Alex was targeting. What it'd be like, what about me? If I piss off Lori, what's going to happen to me? That's what yeah. But no, apparently he just figured he would work on his marriage with Lori and just keep going. I don't know, man. But some ass tasing the ex of my spouse and threatening me is a deal breaker. It really is. I wouldn't stay married to someone whose sibling did that. Nope. I mean, it's like, what if Lori and Alex get a hair up their butt, Nope, not in no way. I'm out of here. Okay, we get this point, right? I would watch for red flags, people, in your relationship. As someone who was in a bad relationship, before I got into a new one, I was watching the red flags. I listed what are red flags. Do that. Trust me. Oh, now, oddly enough, through all this, Lori is seen as a very, very good mother. And it catches the attention of the Woodcocks. I know, come on. Make the jokes, woodcocks. All right. Now, Charles' sister and brother-in-law are Kay and Larry Woodcock, and they were trying to raise their grandson, JJ. Now, JJ is on the spectrum, and it was really difficult for Kay and Larry at their age to raise him. They realized that they were really old, too old to raise such a young child. Trust me, I'm 49 and I'm realizing this is hard. My age, raising kids, peanut, it's hard. So I understand what's going on here. But Kay and Larry, the Woodcocks, felt that Lori and Charles would be good parents for Joshua, also known as JJ. So Charles and Lori adopted JJ, and it's finalized in 2014. Okay, I need coffee break. Now it is said that Tylee really loved JJ very much, and she was also very protective. And the pictures that I've seen, and I will use one, I think in the thumbnail of Tylee and JJ together, they're just so cute. There is so much love and happiness in those eyes when those two are together. And it's like she's so protective. It's such a nurturing sibling relationship. It's adorable. And this is just really a hard case. Now, Kay and Larry were happy that JJ was adopted by family, because they felt that they'd still have a connection with their grandson. They wouldn't have to be alienated if JJ ended up in the system or with somebody else. Unfortunately, Lori really, really wanted to move, and not just to a nearby town. No, she didn't want to stay anywhere near where they were. She wanted to move all the way to Kauai, Hawaii. This was heartbreaking on the Woodcocks. FaceTiming their grandson just isn't the same as being there with him. So, sorry about that interruption. My little one woke up. You see, I try and do my recordings early in the morning before the kids wake up, but oh well. So, yeah. Let's get back to the Woodcocks. I just had to pause so you guys can get the jokes out of your head, because this was heartbreaking that that Lori wanted to move them, And it was in the end of 2014 that the Vallows did relocate to Hawaii. And if I recall correctly, it was in Hawaii that the Vallows became very active in the LDS church. And people there would see Lori and just think, what an amazing mom. She's raising these, her daughter, and they've adopted this child, and he is so loved and so happy, and she seems so attentive to the kids. Yeah. And she was they were around the LDS church, and people in the LDS church she was making good friends with. And now, do you remember about Chad Daybell being part of the Mormon church also, the LDS church, and has a series of books out on the end times? Okay, this is when she is exposed to his books, and she becomes obsessed with his series, Standing in Holy Places. Yeah. Yes, you can find Chad Daybell's books still on Amazon. Oh yeah, I did, take a peek at the reviews of the first book in the series, The Gathering. And it was chock full of anger, hate, and a few praising of the books. The ones praising the books was like back in 2014, 2016, 17. But you go to 2019 and beyond, and it's just, yeah. Woo! Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get back on track. You got off track again. Now, Lori supposedly talked about these books and the prophecies of Chad Daybell to her friends in Hawaii. And she was even buying the books for her friend. She's like, you gotta read this. You got to. It's just gonna open your eyes. It wasn't just the books that she started really liking. It was Chad himself. And his cult, his ministry, we'll call that. The cult of preparing a people. They had a website, a podcast, even held lectures for people to attend. Lori was just immersing herself in this. And here we go. Chad Daybell believes himself to be a god. A god. And have divine sight, in which he could tell if someone was part of the 144,000 chosen ones. And you might have heard something like this referred to in the book of Revelation, which is part of a vision that John the Apostle had that he put in writing, okay? Now, Chad also claimed to have visions and dreams from God himself. And one of Chad's visions came to him in 2015. This vision told him that he had to move to Rexburg, Idaho. Yeah, this is how this little town got into this whole mess. Okay, he's we gotta go. We gotta move there. And have the chosen gather there to be safe, because the end times are upon us, and it's the only place you will be safe. This cult is full of people who were part of the LDS Church and Doomsday Preppers. And I gotta tell you, here in Idaho, that's outside of Boise, Ada County. Yeah, it is a whole different world. And it's beautiful, but people are different. And there's a lot of more. The LDS Church is very popular outside of there, and these small communities. And you got people. There was like the Citadel. We had all these total white supremacist shit going on here. They got chased out of the state. We're like, get out. They were trying to set up like their little military camp. I was like, people just like, let's come to Idaho and let's have our cult here. I don't know, but now this is where things get even weirder. If you could think they could get stranger, right? Could they? No, they can. You see, Chad Daybell taught that people can become zombies. You heard me. I said zombies. Now, their definition of a zombie is an individual whose mortal spirit has left their body, and that their body is now the host of another spirit, a dark spirit. And Chad said that he could tell if someone was a zombie or not. If they had been, their spirit had left and it's somebody else there. Something dark and wicked. Now, in 2015, Chad and Tammy Daybell bought a home in Salem, Idaho. And you're like, well, that's not Rexburg. No, they're like right here on top of each other, okay? So, yeah, he moved, thinking God told him it would be safe there. Now, just a side note, Rexburg is part of East Idaho. And when COVID was spreading, it was not so safe out there, okay? It wasn't. And I had so many loved ones and people close to me get COVID, and it was hard. And so I'm like, well, why is Rexburg, it wasn't so safe. It wasn't. But hey, that's just what I think from what I see, what I saw. Now, it's believed to save someone who had become a zombie was to kill them. Did you hear me? You thought I was going to say an exorcism, didn't you? Uh-huh. Yeah, I would think, Mother God, we pray, be out, deliver this person. No. They saved their loved ones that they believed had been taken over by a dark spirit. In order to protect them and save them, they had to kill them. I would have thought, deliverance is what Protestants do. Exorcisms what Catholics do. But they said nothing like that simple could help. No, we are hardcore over here at preparing a people. Oh. Okay, let's get back to the Vallows. Now, Charles moved Lori and the kids from Hawaii to Arizona sometime around 2016, 2017. And it was because they couldn't afford living in Hawaii. He wasn't able to keep his business going. Work wasn't going so well. And it is fucking expensive to live in Hawaii, okay? Lori wasn't happy. No. She absolutely loves living in Kauai, Hawaii, the mainland in Kauai, because she just does. Yeah. Excuse me, a cat broke into my office and is meowing up a storm. Do you hear, little Cavey? Yeah, I'll let you out. Welcome back. Now, we left off with Lori, clearly not happy about having to move back to the mainland and live in Arizona. Now, 2018 was the year that Chad and Lori finally meet face to face. It was also the year that Lori's third husband suddenly up and died. Now, I mentioned it briefly. They think it was a heart attack, but people are now even questioning if Joe Ryan did die of natural causes or if he was killed by Alex or Lori or someone in the cult, Because Alex had threatened to kill Joe, so it's not too big of a stretch to be suspicious. Okay, now folks, if you're not sitting down, you're going to want to be. Hold on tight, because things are about to get crazy, okay? Like, where's the straitjacket? Kind of crazy. I'm saying it is going to get outrageous. And if you're like me, you're going to be mind blown. This was one of these things where following it has, yeah. Fall of 2008, Lori and her niece, Milani Bordeaux, attend a Prepping a People event. Yes. Lori was, she had family who were hearing about this cult. And, they were a little concerned, but like her niece really, was into it also. And they went to this event and they met Chad for the first time. And that's allegedly that's the first time they're face to face. We're not sure exactly, but in the following months, Lori and Chad would exchange emails and appear on podcasts together. Chad briefly stayed at the Vallows' home in Arizona, even on one occasion. Kid or not. Now, January 22nd of 2019, Lori receives an email from Chad with the subject line, Demon with the name Nick Schneider. Now, this is alleged, okay? And you're like, what's this got to do? What? Nick Snyder? Who's that? Who's the demon? And what's going on? January 28th of 2019, while Charles was on a business trip, Lori transfers $10,000 out of Charles's business account into an unknown account, and 2,000 express points to her personal account. Now, all this is documented in divorce papers that Charles submits later on. So, now, the next day, January 29th of 2019, Lori transfers an additional $25,000 out of Charles's business account to another unknown account. Now, Charles receives this phone call, and Lori tells him she is a god sent to carry out the work of the 144,000, at Christ's second coming, and she will kill Charles if he gets in her way. According to Lori, Jesus is headed to Earth July of 2020. Y'all heard it. Jesus supposedly came. Yeah. Now, the next day, January 30th, Lori calls Charles to tell him that she plans to kill him when he returns home. And she has an angel waiting to help dispose of his body. And Lori starts calling Charles by the name of Nick Snyder. She goes, Nick killed Charles and has taken his identity. She thinks Charles is a fucking zombie. And some Nick Snyder has possessed him. I am not making this shit up. I really wish I was. And now, Charles is becoming more and more alarmed. So, he's like, what? And he attempts to fly home, only to find that Lori canceled his flight. Oh yeah, she's like, no, you ain't coming here, buddy. Now, after buying a ticket, finally, and landing in Arizona, Charles finds his truck is gone from the airport parking lot. So he can't even get home. Truck gone, what are you going to do? So he finally makes it home. Charles finds his house empty. Lori had taken his son, the business laptop, and all of Charles's clothes. He's got no clothes in his blood. Gone. And he is not a happy camper. He is pissed off, and he is so worried about these kids, Tylee and JJ, and what Lori has done. He is scared shitless. Okay? Now, January 31st, Charles petitions Community Bridges Healthcare for a 72-hour hold and evaluation on Lori. Charles then goes into Lori's car and takes her purse and wallet. Lori goes to the Gilbert police station to file a statement regarding this theft. Oh, yeah. Lori's like, she's crazy. She's conniving, she's sneaky. Law enforcement talks to Lori and appears to sympathize with her after she implies Charles was lying due to a marital dispute. At law enforcement's encouragement to explain the situation to healthcare center, Lori checks herself into Community Bridges and is discharged only a few hours later. Yeah, she got the cops to intervene and help her. They must feel like shit. Now, looking back, hindsight, yeah, it's great, isn't it? February 8th of 2019, Charles files for divorce from Lori, and his attorneys advise him to remove Lori as the beneficiary of his life insurance. Now, Lori doesn't learn of this removal until after Charles's death, according to Kay Woodcock. Charles did not reveal, hey, he probably should have let her know. I don't know. You gotta think about that. Well, February 10th, 2019, Lori vanishes for 58 days, leaving the kids with Charles. Now, did you think Charles was a zombie? Right? You know, Nick Snyder taking over him? I don't know, but she disappears. Charles has no idea where she went. Now, a friend later reveals that she had spent part of this time, she was back in Hawaii. 2006, March 6, 2019. So tongue-tied. It's a Monday. Just a manic Monday. No, sorry. Now, divorce proceedings are dismissed at Charles's request. Charles decided he wanted to try to make this marriage work. Charles has a son who does an interview and he's explaining that, I think the son is from another marriage. You know, I didn't get all those details, but this guy, he found out that, hey, Lori had been in Hawaii, but now Charles wanted to try and work on this marriage. Spring 2019, Melanie Gibb, who's a co-host of Lori's podcast, overhears Lori call Tylee a zombie when Tylee doesn't want to babysit JJ. She said, "Not me, Mom." And Lori tells Gibb that Tylee turned into a zombie around the age 12 or 13. And Tylee has become difficult to deal with around those ages. Lori tells this person, Melanie, this stuff. It was like, what? Now, April of 2019, Charles texts a friend saying Lori had dramatically changed in the last 6 months. "It is the freakiest thing I've ever experienced. She's with a group of people called Woke and Preparing the People. She says an evil spirit named Nick Snyder murdered me and is using me to violate her." Yes! You heard me. Now, June 9 of 2019, Melanie unexpectedly demands a divorce from, Melanie, Melanie the niece. She's like, "I need to divorce you, Brandon. And they've been married 11 years. And this was like posted on Facebook. Now, Brandon will say he believed it was due to Melania's new religious beliefs after following Lori and Chad into what he called, what we're all calling is a cult. Yeah. On July 11th, 2019, Charles arrives at Lori's Arizona home to pick up JJ. Now, he had been in Texas. I forget why. I think that's where the Woodcocks live or something. But he had come over to Arizona. He wanted to pick up JJ. And when he got home, Lori, Tylee, JJ, and Lori's brother Alex were all there. On this day, there was an altercation, and Alex shoots Charles twice in the chest, killing him. Alex is claiming self-defense, and so no charges were filed. And according to Charles and Lori's property manager, Joe, neighbors reported, guess what they did after Charles was shot and killed? They held a fucking pool party. How ghastly is that? What are they celebrating? "Oh, we killed Charles, and I'm getting the life insurance," because she doesn't know that the policy's been canceled. Yeah. Now, I've seen her interviews right at the situation, and she's like more concerned about what the neighbors must think. And Tylee and Lori and Alex all say that, Charles came in, he had like a bat or something, picked up a bat and was moving around like it was gonna hurt. And that, Alex shot. And what you later learn is one of the shots was straight on, and the other one was while Charles was laying on the ground, he shot him again. That's not self-defense. That's excessive. Yeah. Now, JJ had a dog named Bailey, and it was his service dog, and August 9th, his little service dog was put up for sale. According to Kay Woodcock, she's like, she tried to sell the dog, but the dog was later returned to the kennel where she had originally got the dog from. On August 10th, JJ's grandmother, Kay Woodcock, spoke with JJ FaceTime for approximately only 35 seconds, and that is the last contact she has with her grandson. September 1st of 2019, Lori, Tylee, and JJ moved to Rexburg. Now, Tylee was originally going to be staying in Arizona. She wasn't going to move, but she was going to stay with her friend. But Tylee was concerned for JJ and did not want to leave him alone with Lori. Remember I told you she's protective of her little bro. And so she moved to Rexburg with them. Now, over the next 2 months, Melanie, who was divorcing Brandon, Melanie, her niece, and Alex also moved to Rexburg. And into this there's a housing complex there that they all moved into, okay? Now, September 8th of 2019, Tylee is seen for the last time, and phone records indicate Tylee, JJ, Lori, and Alex were at Yellowstone Park. And there's actually 2 photos, one from Lori's iCloud account and one from the National Park Service entrance, that showed Tylee was alive and at Yellowstone National Park. But that's the last they see of her. September 9th, Alex goes to Lori's apartment around 3 a.m. and his cell phone pings him into the place, Chad's property in the Daybell's Pet Cemetery on the property around there. And Chad's neighbor hears a gunshot. Chad texts Tammy saying, "Oh, I shot a raccoon and buried it in the pet cemetery." Just so y'all know, Tylee's body will later be found in that pet cemetery. Makes you wonder. September 19th of 2019, Melanie Gibb, who co-host of Lori's Religious Podcast, shows up with her boyfriend, and they're from Arizona, but they go up to Rexburg, and Lori starts telling them JJ's become a zombie now. He's a zombie. And while on September 22nd of 2019, Melanie and Lori are recording a podcast episode. Alex stops by, and he's holding JJ, who appears to be asleep in his arms. That's the last verifiable sighting we have of JJ. September 23rd, 2019, JJ is absent from school the next day. When Gibb's boyfriend asks where, JJ is, Lori tells him JJ was acting like a zombie, so Alex took him. That is scary shit. Fuck. Now, around 10 a.m., a cell phone pings Alex at a pond on Chad's property. JJ's body will later be found at this pond. And the day after that, on September 24th, Lori reports to JJ's school that he's not returning. He's going to be homeschooled, and so there's no further need of requiring you guys to contact me or JJ about anything. I got it covered. Now, she starts acting even weirder and more suspicious. October 1st of 2019, Lori signs a contract with Self Storage Plus in Rexburg to rent a storage unit. And the surveillance video shows Lori and Alex visiting a total of 9 times in October and once in November. And according to the footage released by the news up in East Idaho, the items brought to the storage unit include gun casings, children's bicycles, and a variety of items belonging to JJ and Tylee. October 2nd of 2019, a drive-by shooting attempt is made on Brandon Bordeaux. Remember Brandon? He's Melanie, Lori's niece's husband, or now ex-husband, because they filed divorce. Now, he didn't see the actual driver, but he fucking recognized that vehicle, because it was a Jeep registered to the deceased, now Charles Vallow. And he thought he saw Alex behind the wheel. Now we know Alex has no qualms in killing off or attacking or threatening someone's ex or someone's spouse, okay? So this is not, this is scary. It's alleged, but it is true that that Jeep is registered to Charles Vallow. Please have verified this, okay? Now, a ring is ordered from Charles's Amazon account. And photos later show Lori wearing the ring in her wedding photos with Chad. Her browser history also showed someone looking at wedding dresses online around the same time. Now, I'm out of coffee, folks, and I got a lot more speaking to do. So if you still want to join in, we got a long story to tell. Stick around and refill your drinks.
A few moments later.
Oh boy, there's still more to come, folks. This is a lot, isn't it? Hope you got your refill. I have mine. Yes. So we're October 9th of 2019. Over at the Daybells, Tammy, she sees this man with a ski mask coming up her driveway. She's trying to unload groceries. And she thinks it's a paintball gun being pointed at her. And she hears this trigger, click, 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 but it doesn't seem, nothing happens. It's like the gun wasn't loaded. Now, Tammy does post about this experience on her Facebook. And she tries to ask this man, what are you doing here? But he won't speak. Just pointing the gun with and shooting off blank. Say nothing was there. Now Tammy begins yelling for Chad. And at that point, the man runs off. And Tammy does report the incident to the county sheriff's office. Now, the sheriff's office laughed this off as, that's just a prank. Yep. They're like, we can't find him, and this was just a prank. Haha. Don't worry, Tammy. Don't worry. However, 10 days later, Tammy is found dead in her home at the age of 49. That was me. It's like, what? And she's found there by family, and it gets just pushed aside as, well, this was due to natural causes. Now, Tammy had seemingly appeared in everything, from everyone's knowledge, she was healthy. I mean, 2 weeks before, she had visited her own father. And he's like, she was fine. There was nothing wrong with her. And Douglas talks about, that's her dad, Ron Douglas. And Chad calls him after Tammy passed, saying she had gone to bed the night before with a terrible cough and just never woke up. Terrible cough, my ass. Shit. October 22nd, Tammy is interred. She's put away in the cemetery, according to the Rexburg police. October 25th, a friend of Tylee's from Arizona. Now things get weird because Tylee would keep in touch with her friend and they would be texting. But she gets this weird text from Tylee saying, hi, miss you guys too, love ya. But it doesn't sound, she's like, something's odd. This doesn't sound like her. And it had taken, she had texted Tylee like 2 days before and just now gets a response, which was very un-Tylee-like. And if you know your kids this age, I have a 14-year-old son and a 9-year-old. When they get a text, they're like, they're texting all day. Okay. But she really started doubting who wrote this out because the words were all spelled out. And if you know this younger generation, they don't spell out all the words, okay? And she would have texted a whole lot more. But it was just, yeah, I miss you guys, love you. And that was it. Now, sometime later in October, Charles receives a life insurance policy totaling $430,000. Boom! Well, they couldn't get Charles' life insurance policy, so they got Tammy's. Yay. Ugh. Fuck. Now, November 2019, Lori and Chad repeatedly denied the existence of their children when speaking with acquaintances. You know, they will say things like, oh, Tylee died in 2017, or tell people, Lori doesn't have any minor children. Don't, you know. They were just lying up a fucking storm. And they go on and telling this. We find that this is what they're saying. Now, November 5th, well, guess where Chad and Lori are? They're in Kauai, and they get married. November 14th, prior to the finalization of her divorce, police arrest Milani for trespassing on Brandon's parents' property. She is charged with criminal trespass, and she's released the same day. Now, that's spooky as shit, because Brandon had gone into hiding because he was, with his kids, scared of Milani and her family, like Lori, okay? Lori, her aunt. I mean, he was scared about this cult. And she's sneaking onto his property? That's weird. Now, mid-November, Chad and Lori return to Rexburg from Kauai. They go there for a little bit. Now, police on November 26th, they go to Chad and Lori's residence there in Rexburg. So now they have their own little place to conduct a welfare check, because Kay and Larry Woodcock are like, where is JJ? So the police, at the request of the grandmother, go and do this welfare check. Now, the police are told different stories from Lori about the children being in Arizona with friends and relatives. And the police actually, follow through to contact them. Contact these friends, these relatives who supposedly had, seen JJ and Tylee. But these people have never, nope. And one of her friends had gotten a call from Lori, and Lori was trying to tell her to pretty much, lie that, she had JJ with her. Yeah. Crazy shit. Now, this was on November 26th. Now, November 27th, the police have, okay, we know he's not here. The people you said don't know where the kids are, so they return with a search warrant. Unfortunately, they were gone. Chad and Lori disappear. They had left abruptly, and witnesses saw them leaving with few belongings, and they said, no, Tylee and JJ were not with them when they left. Okay, so that's November 27th. Yeah, so much happens in this bit of time here, right? Yeah, it's like a lot to follow. Now, November 29th, Alex Cox, Lori's brother, marries a Zulema Pestine. Zulema is, and they're married in Vegas. And then November 30th, Milani Bordeaux marries an Ian Pulowski. Now, also in Vegas. And Pulowski is a resident of Rexburg. And he had divorced his wife in July of 2019. Okay, so, and they're all part of this Doomsday Preppers, prepare people cult that Chad has been, reaching out to. So all these people are, yeah. December 1st, of 2019, Chad and Lori fly from Los Angeles to Kauai. This is according to what they can find in airline records. And December 11th, law enforcement decide to further investigate Tammy's death. They're like, wait a minute. Chad's already married to Lori, and the kids are gone. Tammy's dead. Lori's husband's dead. Let's exhume the body. Let's see what we can find here. Because they were like, this death is suspicious as fuck. Now the next day, December 12th, Alex dies in Arizona. He is found by his wife's son. And people were like, was he killed? Did he commit suicide? But a medical examiner says it was just a natural death. Said there were blood clots in his lung and high blood pressure. Now, I believe that is I did the reading on him, and he was very much overwhelmed by everything that was happening. And seeing everything falling apart and dealing with a lot of regret and stress of being caught. Because all of a sudden, they're like looking into Tammy. Who are they going to look into now? Yeah. Poor. It's like, fuck. But that does seem to be natural. And just a lot of his own, his own corruption just pretty much weighed too heavily on him, man. Anyway, December 20th of 2019 is finally, as I told you in the beginning, the police put out the Amber Alert asking everybody to help them locate Tylee and JJ because they can't get a hold of Chad and Lori, and Chad and Lori have not been cooperative at all. Okay, and I remember, like I said, I remember that day. I was like, wait a minute, the kids were missing since September. What is going on? Yeah, well, now we know what was going on, and it was chaos. A lot of deception, a lot of lies. Now, December 23rd, December 21st, the police now say that Chad and Lori are people of interest in the disappearance of Tylee and JJ. Now, an attorney in Rexburg on December 23rd issued a statement. I think this attorney's got balls. I gotta tell you. Saying Chad Daybell was a loving husband and has the support of his children in this matter. Lori Daybell is a devoted mother and resents assertion to the contrary. We look forward to addressing the allegations once they have moved beyond speculation and rumor. Okay. December 20. Now, I remember that statement, and because I was trying to figure out who's with the, and I was like, oh no, they bad. They're just bad. And yeah, they were worse than I thought initially. Oh no, I thought they were pretty fucked up, but this is bad. December 26th. This is the day after Christmas. The cult itself, preparing a people, are now issuing a statement. And according to the statement, it is a multimedia company that focuses on video editing. Preparing the people, representatives say that they have not had Chad speak at an event since February 2019, and they are cooperating with law enforcement and have removed podcast episodes featuring Chad and Lori. So the cult is like, fuck, we need to distance ourselves. Yeah. Now, on December 30th, the police of Rexburg issue a statement. And they say they strongly believe that Joshua and Tylee's lives are in danger. They say that they know the kids are not with Chad and Lori. And despite what law enforcement believes, she knows where they are. Despite what she's saying, Lori Vallow does know where her kid, Daybell, they are and what has happened to them. And Lori is refusing completely to assist with this investigation and has chosen instead to leave the state with her new husband. Boom. They're like, bitch, we see ya. We see ya. January 3rd, 2020, law enforcement from the Fremont County Sheriff's Office, the Rexburg Police Department, and the FBI arrive at Daybell's property, the former home of Chad and Tammy, with a search warrant. And officers search inside the house as well as a shed and barn behind the house. Then they start using metal detectors along the yard. Police said more than 43 items were collected from the home, including computers, cell phones, journals, documents, medications, and they were all sent to forensics for examination. January 7th of 2020. The Woodcocks, JJ's grandparents, hold a press conference and they announce $20,000 reward for the children's return. Larry pleads that they only want the best for the kids, begging, please bring them back to us. January 25th, law enforcement locate Chad and Lori on the Hawaiian main island of Kauai, where they are served a court order obtained by the Madison County's prosecutor office that requires Lori to physically produce Tylee and JJ to the Idaho Department of Welfare in Rexburg, Idaho, or to the Rexburg Police within 5 days of being served. And I remember that, and I thought, she's not going to be able to produce them. Now, the next day, January 26th, the Kauai Police Department, they serve a search warrant on the vehicle of Chad and Lori so they could look for, see if they find anything. Then, January 30th, 2020, she's supposed to be Madison County, right there in Rexburg, with her children. She is a no-show. Is this a surprise? Not really. Not really. Now, if you remember, Milani married Ian, okay? Now, things get a little weird with Ian here. Now, February 16th of 2020, Ian gives his ex-wife a computer. Now, his ex-wife says she found documents on it outlining Lori and Chad's beliefs. And it included all this zombie-like demonic possession, dark immortal beings, working on the Rexburg police force, and the spiritual ranking of one's libido. I kid you not. It was creepy. And she was like, they think, the police there are dark immortal beings or something. February 20th, 2020, Lori is arrested in Hawaii by the Kauai police and is charged with 2 counts of felony, desertion of a child, as well as misdemeanor charges of resisting and obstructing an officer, solicitation of a crime, and contempt. Now, she is held on a $5 million bond pending extradition to Idaho. And Lori appears before the judge and it's like, hey, could you lower? I intend to fight the extradition order, and could you lower my bail? And the judge is like, no. So, February 26th, Lori waives her challenge to Idaho's extradition order. The judge instructs the prosecuting attorney to have Idaho authorities return Lori to Madison County as soon as possible. It's like ASAP. Oh, sorry. But Lori, she did this because her bail was denied. The only way she was going to get back to Rexburg now was if she went ahead and allowed herself to be extradited. Because remember, end times, July 2020. She needs to be in Rexburg to be safe. Okay? You see? There was a... Now, February 29th, Chad follows and goes back to Rexburg. And to the house that he used to live with his ex-wife. Yeah. And it's March 4th that law enforcement take Lori into their custody. Rexburg does, law enforcement, and bring her out of Hawaii all the way up to Idaho. And on March 5th, Lori arrives at the Rexburg airport and is escorted to Madison County Jail. This is like a little tiny little private Lancaster kind of thing. Not a big airport, folks. And then, now I remember watching these because come March now, everyone's like, we got COVID, and so the courts are trying to do like Zoom call-ins. So we had a Zoom call of the attorneys and Lori with her attorney, and she appears on March 6th before court for the first time, and Judge Farron Edens reads Lori her charges and sets the preliminary hearing for March 18th and March 19th. Now, the judge agrees to lower Lori's bail from $5 million to $1 million at her attorney's request. Now, March 13th, 2020, Lori has a hearing at which time a new judge, Michelle, takes over this case. And 2 of Lori's 3 attorneys have now withdrawn. Now, this is weird. It's like, okay. The judge lowers the bail. He is removed off the case. New person put on. And 2 of Lori's attorneys are like, 2 of the 3 are like, nope, we're out of here. April 10th of 2020, the Idaho Attorney General's office is now taking over Tammy Daybell's case because they believe that she was murdered. And they revealed that the couple, Lori and Chad, are now being investigated for the murder, attempted murder, and conspiracy regarding the death of Tammy. May 1st, Lori tries to beg for, lower my bail, lower it even lower for me. And the court's like, not gonna do it, not gonna do it. Now, June 9th of 2020, the FBI and law enforcement there serve a search warrant on Chad's property in Salem. They find the remains of Tylee and JJ. And Chad is immediately taken into custody for questioning and is later arrested on 2 felony accounts involving the concealment of human remains. Now, this is all going to change with the charges. It was on June 10th that they could identify positively Tylee and JJ. I watched the trial where the prosecutor explains that he can't go into detail of the condition of the human remains, but he was trying to plead that, no, don't lower the bail, keep them in jail because they were in an awful condition and they were even burnt, charred, mutilated. You couldn't recognize Tylee right away. It was traumatizing because I was feeling his trauma from these pictures. Like, how could you do this to your children? June 30th, 2020, Lori is charged with 2 felony counts of conspiracy to conceal evidence. And then July 22nd, 2020 is when Chad and Lori thought it was the end of the world was supposed to happen that day. They all thought, hey, end of the world. They really thought everything was going to be fine, but that didn't happen. Now did it? Nope. No, it didn't. Now, in August 3rd, 4th, Chad has a 2-day preliminary hearing, and so basically Chad is his case is now going to be bound to go to the district court for a jury trial. Lori waives her preliminary hearing, and her case moves to the district court, where she too will have a jury trial. And of course, in August, Chad's like, I plead not guilty. And August 13th, Lori's attorney, Mark Means, asserts a letter sent out by the LDS church leaders was intended to affect the client's legal proceedings by encouraging LDS members to enter into a code of silence. He notes that Vallow's case is set in a state with a high LDS population. So he doesn't feel that Lori's going to get a fair, trial. Now, September 1st, the prosecutor, Rob Wood, this guy, I can tell you, he wants to prosecute this case bad. You just see it in him. He wants justice for all these people that they have hurt and killed along the way. And the kids. Now, but he wants to see if he can get Chad and Lori do a joint trial. Since they're being accused of committing the same acts. He says this is going to be more efficient. It's going to be easier on witnesses just to go to a single hearing instead of having to do 2 separate hearings for doing the same thing. Okay, so he requests this, and I don't know if it happened or not. Well, I don't think it. I think Chad is trying to say no. He wants it separate. Yeah. Now Chad also requests to have his trial relocated, and yeah, he objects having the joint trial in September. And Lori, in September 10th, she enters a plea of not guilty and then requests a jury trial at her arraignment hearing. Now, her attorney convinces this judge to allow Lori to not wear, the prison garb, but to wear street clothing during the proceedings. I think they're trying to make her look more, human and innocent and motherly. Of course, and they also say, we don't want a joint trial with Chad. We want our own separate trial. And she also requests for a relocation. Yeah, January 11th of 2021. Now we're into the current year, folks. Whoa, believe it or not. If you're still here, wow. Anya. Chad's 3-week trial was supposed to begin. And it was supposed to last until January 29th. And Lori, on January 25th, was supposed to have a 5-day jury trial for her 3 misdemeanor charges. And then they were March 22nd, Lori's jury trial for the 2 felony charges regarding the cover-up of her children's death are set to begin, and it's scheduled to last until April 2nd. Now, May 24th of 2021, the grand jury convenes and returns indictments against Lori Vallow Daybell and Chad Daybell on multiple counts, each of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception, first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder related to the deaths of Vallow Daybell's 2 children. And Daybell also faces a first-degree murder charge for the death of Tammy Daybell and 2 counts of insurance fraud. Vallow was also hit with grand theft charge related to the Social Security benefits for her children, according to court papers that you can find online, okay? So it's like, ugh, all this comes out. Now, May 26th, Chad Daybell makes his initial appearance in the court for his latest charges. He was smiling, he laughed, he was talking with the judge, and he waived a formal hearing of his indictment, and he was not offered bail. Whew. now Lori Daybell was also scheduled, for her initial appearance, but the hearing was cut short due to exigent circumstances brought to the judge beforehand, and the jurors told which the jurors told the court. Now, it's like, what's going on here? What's going on? Oh, folks. Lori is deemed mentally unfit May 27th of 2021. She is unfit for trial. This news comes out. I remember going, is she trying to con her way out of responsibility of killing her kids? And Lori Daybell is declared not competent to stand the trial. And according to an order filed in the county of Fremont County in Idaho, they report that Daybell needs restorative treatment and must be returned to her competency before her criminal case in Idaho can move forward. The order notes that prosecutors are contesting the outcome and a hearing will be needed. Investigators also recommend Valo Daybell face an additional criminal charge in suburban Phoenix, Arizona, for the killing of her estranged husband. Folks, so all this is coming up right now. And of course, they try and contest, Valo Daybell's competency declaration. And then he withdraws the contestation, and then paperwork submitted for the withdrawal would cite medical evaluation and as corresponding data provided by the court examiner. He's following all this stuff. He's like, the state further does not object to a medical physician's evaluation and diagnosis of the defendant with corresponding treatment plan for the purpose of restoring the defendant's competence. So he's like, let's get our people involved in this and get the Department of Health to look into this. So she's committed into a health facility here in Idaho. And she was supposed to remain there up to 3 months. So this brings everything to a temporary halt, all the charges and everything in the case. Chad is continuing to plead not guilty to conspiracy, murder, and grand theft. He's like, nope. Yeah, folks, this is like, it's just gotten crazy. And there's all sorts of trial dates coming up in November. In June, at the end of June, Lori was charged in the death of her ex-husband. And police show, because Alex shot and killed Charles, that she was part of that. That she conspired with his death. Yeah. So all this stuff is coming out. It's like, it's nasty. And it's hard because, Charles tried to say, hey, like 4 months before he was killed and filed for divorce, he was like trying to tell people that Lori believes she had some near-death experience and realizes now that she has lived numerous times on other planets before her current life. And she is a god now. Yeah, and nobody took Charles seriously. Lori somehow could con her way through, I don't know, what she could. She just has a way with people, I guess. Ugh. And Charles tried to say, hey, my wife wants to take all my money and wants to kill me. Nobody believed it. So this is just one fucked up and tragic case, a mesh of cases. And right now, I'm glad that Chad and Lori are not free and out and about. And, I'm still going to be keeping an eye on these trials as they go forward. That took forever. Yeah. But we're done. We really are. And we're going to move on to that tarot reading now. Welcome back. All right, we're going to get into the tarot reading about this Doomsday cult. Prepare a People, run by Chad, and who goes, you could say Lori had a big part in it too, running things. Please remember that this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I do not wish any harm on anybody. I do not want to be offensive. I want to be this is a very sensitive issue. JJ and Tylee didn't have to die. They really didn't. And let's just see what's going to happen. Lori seems to be able to kind of con her way around people. I mean, she was able to marry how many times? Okay. Let's see. Okay. 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 Yeah. I'm gonna get some more cards because I am seeing okay, this is Chad and that's Lori here. Okay. This is the Fool, and it's reversed. Okay, and so when we get into the Fool being reversed, you know, the Fool usually is like someone who we're gonna begin a new life, but there's been delays. Things have been halted, and under it I have the the Eight of Swords, and yeah, the Eight of Swords, you know, there's the Moon. The woman is bound up. I'm seeing just wanting to break free, but getting stopped, not able to escape. This is a delayed escape, someone wanting to escape but can't. Now, you know, the King of Swords, he can be a nasty, nasty, corrupt asshole when he's reversed like this. And being swords, he could come across very, you know, he's smart, you know, and he knows how to put on a show. And then you got the Empress here, and she's reversed. This is a woman, this is Lori, who portrays being this nurturing, loving, altogether person, but it's all a deception. She is really just very selfish, very selfish. And the Ten of Cups, I always, you know, when it's right side up, I always are like, oh, happy family, and there's happiness. But this is a disruption to all this happiness. This is, things are not good. And then I have the Seven of Cups always have me going, they got lost in this whole idea. These two, it's escapism. This was an escapism, kind of like expecting the end times to free them. They really, really, really believed. They just got lost. They got swept away. Lori was believing Chad was this prophet, and that she now is, is too a god and one of these chosen. That is them believing that is very, very, the family life wasn't good, and this was an escape. Okay, it's Seven of Swords right over that. I don't like this card reversed at all. So what's going on here? Okay. The Seven of Swords here it's reversed, and it is over this whole trying to escape. And you see this person is like trying to get away, but does so. It's a mess. Just utter, true chaotic mess is what's going on instead. Just trying to make sure the camera thing keeps moving. So, yeah, they just keep getting worse and worse for them. The Three of Cups. And when that's reversed, often I've seen this as, with, you could see, when I put it right side up, she's drowning. Okay? Well, all these, and then the three people up here are just celebrating, and this is reversed, and this is, could be, she's wishing she was like them. She wishes she could be this happy. There's, jealousy. Lori, very jealous of Tammy. Holy shit. Yeah. That was real apparent. And with the Six of Wands over, this whole everything falling apart, this is like, here they are, believing that everything is, they're being successful. Lori seriously believes in this chaotic deception that, she isn't going to get in trouble for killing the kids. She really believes she's going to overcome it. All right, let's see here. So, Lori is thinking she's a bound woman. Shit. Okay. Wow. This gentleman here is not Chad. He's somebody helping Lori. This is the Ten of Wands, and Lori is taking on just, I'm so tired. I've been through so much, been taken advantage and mistreated. No one really understands me. Kind of, she's saying this to a man. Yeah. The King of Cups. This is like, I need more cards, but I think I see something going on here. Getting an idea. Oh, shit. Shit. Yeah, okay. This is definitely clearing things up. Now this card, when I've been dealing with religious and cults, this card comes up representing a cult, okay? And this actually is, this is Chad Daybell over here. And they're having, Lori and Chad are not well together. There's a conflict, but there's another man in the picture that Lori is leaning into, trying to portray herself as a victim and being oppressed, and she's just this weak, poor little girl feeling. Yeah, and so she is trying to point everything on Chad. And that is going to be the tactic. She has someone, I wondered if it's her attorney, just like totally enamored by her. What's going on with poor Chad over here? See? These two cards keep coming up. Chad, I'm wondering if there's more skeletons in his closet. Because honestly, can't help but wonder. There's been a lot of weird stuff these people have been doing here. Trying to plan a trip. Trying to relocate the trials. But that's not happening. It's not going to happen. And they feel, like I said, that they're just extremely oppressed. They're feeling like being attacked unjustly. It's people are trying to set me up for a no-win situation. I need a sympathetic ear, someone to understand the struggle I've been through. Oh, holy shit! Oh, got the world and the... Okay. I'm not happy with what I think is going to happen. Because this is judgment. And it's over her being, you know, leaving. And you got the little page here, with the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is like... being, you know, just... there's no hope. They think that there's no hope. This is the good luck. I have to relocate because court's not going to treat me fairly, and they believe that, you know, she's thinking a lot of these people are all crazy zombies. Who are after her. Because she is some divine being, and that's crazy. Money. Ugh. Where is all the money? The priestess over here, yeah. There's money somewhere hidden. Okay. Oops. She's after someone for money. Shit. She's gonna be very deceptive and kind of like lure them in, because she's like a Black Widow, folks. Oh my god. Huh. You know what? If you are this man, which I think is the attorney, Run! Far away! Please! Holy moly! That... I don't know if she's going to be succeed, but this is like where her mind is now, what she's planning. Let's try this again. You know what? I want to use a different deck. Yes. I haven't pulled out this fave of mine in a while. Whoa. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. That card falling down like that. Because it's about power. It's the tower, but it's not a destroying tower. It's believing, you know, someone in authority, which Chad was as a cult leader. Anger and chains. Okay. I am sensing Tylee here. It's okay. Okay. This anger and chains, I think. Then you got peaceful among thorns. Queen of my world. And I'm seeing Tylee being bound up, chained up. Being told, you need to be cleansed. You are a zombie, and she's crying out for help. The Queen of my world. This is Lori. She's powerful. She pretty much, she's very selfish and feels that she's in charge. And there's gilded regret for what she did. The parasite, like I said, they thought she had a zombie in her. Oh, and fragmentation of the world, Lori's world falling apart. Tylee, Tylee's like, Mom, I want you to suffer for what you did to JJ and I. More colorless angel. Lori's trying to portray herself. There was an obsession. Yeah, she's very obsessed with the zombies. Artificial heart. She never really... I don't know if Lori knows what love is or how to love. I think she's always trying to find love. I think she's tried to do this, fake it till you make it kind of thing. I'm trying to be that wife, be that mother, because she doesn't know how to feel. How to have compassion for another. Real compassion, not fake. I think she is a deceiver. When the high priestess upside down, she is very deceptive, very much a deceiver, and has a duality. She can flip back and forth between heartless and vacant to putting on a show, putting on airs, and acting like that model person, a model mother, a model wife. I'm the victim. They were all bad. And the idea that someone is a zombie, being like the Nick Snyder, that all would support her own selfishness and her belief that she is always in the right, that she's not wrong, is that they're wronging her. It's because they're not really them, and I need to free them. Yeah, I think she's still very, very manipulative. Very, very, very. I really hope that they can rehabilitate her so she can be competent to face trial. I don't know what's going to happen. I know she is fantasizing about running off with the attorney or a rich man who's going to save her, sweep her off her feet. And I think she's seeing her attorney kind of as that white knight, the knight in shining armor coming in. Oh, I'm going to rescue you. You know, her Prince Charming in her darkest hours. Oh, he's going to save me kind of thing. And ow. Ow. I did not want to get too deeply into JJ, opening myself up to JJ and Tylee too much, because the pain, it's like I can sense, and it just the betrayal, the shock of it all, and feeling like a failure because Tylee couldn't protect JJ. It's sad. I really do hope that Tylee and JJ have moved on and are in a better place and are together. The brother and sister. Okay, folks. Remember, this was this is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, and a lot of, and I've shared some of my opinions about things. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share these videos out. Also, if you could, please hit that like button. Let me know what you like. Comment down below. Comment to me about your theories and what you think is going on with the Chad and Laurie and everybody. It's just so much. So much. And there's so many what ifs. There's like so much hindsight. Like, oh, sorry, I gotta sit up a bit. Like, what should we be doing? What could have I done? And there's so much of that right now. I would not want to be on the jury. It would just be too... I think emotionally it would just kill me. It would just drain. It would pull me down further because... Yeah. I'm sorry. I just... A vision... This is very heartbreaking of Tylee being strangled. And so confused. I trusted you. I loved you. God. Oh my. Okay, I need to end this video. Clean, put up this protection here. Yeah, I think, we need to end here now, please. I do love you guys. I do appreciate all your comments and your thoughts. Please remember to keep it civil, all right? You may not like someone's ideas or like a specific person who's commenting. Please remember that YouTube does have a terms of service, and it's not allowed to cross certain lines. And so please, I try to step in if I see something and I was glad that somebody did remove their comments after I mentioned something. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I didn't have to be the one because I was going to, but I was glad that, you know, the person realized, okay, I crossed the line. It's gone. Thank you for being that mature. That, you know, I know we all have bad days. Sometimes we do something and we screw up and it's like, oh, why did I do that? I wouldn't normally do that if I was in my right mind here, you know, but it's emotional. These cases can be very emotional and our feelings can be running hot. So just try and remember, please be civil and be respectful. I try and be patient and understanding of everyone's side and opinions, whether I like it or not. You know, I'm going to allow it as long as it's not violating YouTube's terms of service. You know, you get it. I might need to get, if things keep getting more and more, I might have to ask somebody to help moderate. Anyway, I love you guys. I really do. And please remember, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Bye.